Hello everybody, and welcome back to yet another one of these little Witcher 3 bonus episodes, where we, we kind of, just take a chill pill and, just relax a bit and just explore the game for a bit. I am Dimsy and I will be your narrator for this episode, where, this episode is, in particular, we will be, exploring the outskirts of Novigrad. Although there will be some elements, some footage of us chilling in Novigrad, doing some stuff there, but for the most part we are just picking up all of the quests surrounding Novigrad and just kind of getting a feel for the area and, seeing what the outskirts are like and, what's there to find. And by reading the notice boards, we kind of get a how should I put this? It's kind of a different tone and from Velen, and the problems that kind of exist in this area are mostly or rather they revolve around people trying to find a mate. They're trying to like hook up with somebody, or they're trying to hook their kids up with somebody, or there's a couple of notices kind of warning us about, or warning the populace rather, about kind of the state of affairs and telling them to beware of Nilfgaardians or, stuff like that. But for the most part, tonally, it's a lot more, I guess, lighthearted and just a bit easier to live here on the north side of the Pontar Delta, because, god damn, in Velen every notice was basically just talking about how horrible everything was, how miserable everybody was, how short of food they are, and how desperate people are to just eat. They'll take up any job basically just for food, not for pay, just to eat. That's pretty much, kind of the main kind of focus or theme of Velen, is just how impoverished everybody is, and close to famine. That area is just so close to famine, it's not even funny. Novigrad, however, fares a lot better in terms of, how well fed everybody is. But no, the outskirts of Novigrad, I mean, they're not in the shithole that Velen is in, so it makes sense for them to be better off. But yeah, basically people just kind of trying to find a mate, wedding bands, advertising their services. Like a lot of things are just looking a lot better in Novigrad than in Velen. I mean, that's obvious just from being in Velen. And look at this, what the hell? Fortunately for us, he will be reset.
Is it herbs you seek? Medicines to mute a bashful maid's inhibitions? Or a concoction to raise your own courage for a second go?
That it? No other weeds or brews?
Aye. One to make your hair grow, another to do the opposite. An easer of pain, a calmer of heartburn. Tell me what ails you.
Know any advanced formulae? Maybe something you could teach me?
All I know I learned from Master Gremist of Skellige. Looking to apprentice yourself in the herbalist trade?
Nah, I just want to learn something new.
Call it what you will. You must sail across the great sea, find the Isle of Skellige. There, in the sacred grove, the learned Master Gremist will judge whether you're fit to be his pupil.
Let me have a look.
This little halfling here, he we find out later that one of his, or maybe he only has one, but his apprentice has has been missing for quite some time, and there's a quest associated with us trying to find his apprentice. So yeah, look forward to that one. But yeah, he gave us some tips on where we can find, you know, advanced formulae, and we will definitely go to Outskirts and try to find this Gremist dude who seems to be a master alchemist. But first...
Welcome, welcome. What would you say to a hand or two of Gwent?
Not gonna try to sell me something first?
My goods are not swallows. They will not flit nor flee.
Cards won't either.
Do you wish to split hairs all day, or play Gwent, hmm?
Feels like you might have missed your calling.
Oh, curious conclusion, why?
Well, should be hawking goods. Instead, Gwent's all you talk about.
You're right. So, care for a match?
Like to take a look at your
He doesn't give a shit. This elf does not give a fuck.
Fine.
He doesn't care what Geralt has to say at all. He doesn't care about the philosophical implications of him being so enamored by by Gwent that that Geralt even kind of suggested maybe he should just become a professional Gwent player. But no, the elf just... the only thing he can talk about is actually the act of playing the game. That's funny. This elven gentleman actually gives you a card that I've never seen before. All of the Gwent, well, not all, but most Gwent battles are going to be featured in the Gwentacular side series that I do. So, you know, if you're interested in Gwent, you kind of follow me on that journey. And, you know, kind of give me a tip or two along the way.
Should we lay him down?
Yes, yes, yes. You needn't ask twice.
He's so happy. First, I've never actually been to that little, like, camp site. It looks like a traveling circus or some kind of, you know, entertaining party is traveling through the area, and they've made up camp there. And I don't remember seeing them in the vanilla game. It could be, but I'm one of those guys who just, as you see now, I just walk everywhere and just explore everything. I know, I'm a crazy person. But I just love being in this world. I love immersing myself in this world so much. The last time I did that... what game could that have been? I mean, I've done that a couple of times for a couple of games. It's not every game that I do that. You know, for me to really kind of immerse myself that much that I just want to walk everywhere just to make sure that I don't miss anything, a single detail. It has to nail the atmosphere. It has to have great music. It has to have a very compelling and well-written narrative. And preferably, all of these elements have to be coherent, right? All of them have to kind of work together to kind of keep on strengthening the world, right? That's kind of what kind of compels me to enjoy it so much and just wander out there and, you know, just wander out and just explore everything at my own pace, but nonetheless. I wonder if anybody else does that. I know that I know that one of the first games I ever did that for was Red Dead Redemption. And that was really weird. Because, you know, usually us gamers, or you know what, fuck it, just us people are very you know, we're effective people, right? Like we want to get the job done quick. We're not interested in wasting time. I mean, why walk around like I'm doing right now when you could just take a horse and just ride everywhere? But and that was kind of what I was doing, what I've been doing my whole life. But Red Dead Redemption kind of really forced me to kind of just slow down a bit and just take in the atmosphere. Because riding out there, when you're on your horse in Red Dead Redemption and you're just like riding out there on those open plains, and like the clouds are kind of obscuring the sunlight, and you can kind of see the god rays kind of peeking through the holes in the sky, and it just creates this atmosphere. And I don't know, for some reason I just felt compelled to just slow down a bit and just take in the scenery. I think that may be the game that kind of prompted me to just take it easy. Not sure though. Can't think of what other game. No. I'm not sure actually. But yeah. I mean, I don't do that with every game. I'm currently playing Resident Evil 1. Trying to beat that game for the first time ever. It's actually kind of insane going back to that game. I recently bought it during a Steam sale on PC. The HD Biohazard version. And I remember playing that game on the original PlayStation, on the very first PlayStation. And I didn't understand anything. I did understand that it was hokey as fuck. I mean, it was campy as shit, and I loved it. I love it as much now as I did then. It's just fantastic. But yeah, I never got around to finishing it because man, I don't know. Way too young, you know. I wasn't really familiar with the, you know, conventions of video games. And, you know, English was my third language, or is. But at that time, you know, my English wasn't as developed or as good as it is now. Or, yeah, you know, I'd like to think that my English is, you know, all right. You know, I do all right. You know, I think I'd be able to survive a couple of weeks in an English-speaking country. But yeah, at the time, how old was I? 8, 9, 10? Yeah, I was just way too young, man. Way too young. So, yeah. And the whole backtracky kind of, you know, go around exploring each room, going back to certain rooms. Like, that just threw me off my game. And on top of that, it was a horror game. More specifically, a horror survival game. Some people may disagree with me on that the game isn't very scary and shouldn't be considered a horror game, but I'm very easily scared, so for me it's definitely a horror game. And you know, horror survival games, really not my type of games. So yeah, I just kind of gave up when I was a kid. But you know, I've kind of gone back to it now and I'm appreciating the shit out of it. But I don't find myself walking to every room back and forth. I just run everywhere. So, yeah. The developers have to kind of, you know, give me a reason to want to explore and appreciate the world for me to really walk. Why am I even talking about this? Who gives a shit? Oh my god, I just went on a little tangent there. I don't know. If you do the same, if you just... Skyrim, for example. That's a game that I didn't... Yeah, I know. I would walk sometimes. I would just, you know, press caps lock and just walk for a bit and just take in the landscape and the scenery and the visuals and the atmosphere and the music. And let it just, you know, let me just drift out of my body and into another world. And if anybody else does the same, or if I'm just insane, let me know, because I think they have pills for what I've got. Surely I would... there is some kind of way to cure me. Just in case I'm an insane fucking lunatic. But yeah, here we are in Brunwich. Oh, speaking of which, I think that I was talking about that elven dude who loves Gwent and his little, like, circus party of, you know, group of people that kind of travel the world, travel the land and offer their entertainment to people. I think that may be an edition that came with Heart of Stone. Not sure though. But Brunwich the place we are now. This is definitely a part of the expansion, Heart of Stone. If you haven't played the expansions, both of them, I highly recommend them. I very much recommend them. They are excellent. The Heart of Stone is more tightly focused and a lot just concisely and just better written than Blood and Wine, but that's not saying much because I think that Blood and Wine is also really good. But yeah, Heart of Stone is just, you know, it's a 10-hour expansion approximately. The main quest takes about 5 maybe, and it's just so sharply written. They just have it's just, you know, it's a smaller expansion, so it makes sense that it's that it would be a bit more focused and you know, the attention of detail is just there. But I really like the kind of Faustian kind of route that they took for the expansion, where you're trying to help this guy who basically sold his soul to the devil, and you kind of learn all as you go through the main quest, kind of his backstory and who he is as a human being, and you know, shit gets pretty crazy by the end of it. You kind of have to decide whether or not to leave his soul with the devil, or maybe you should do something about it. I'm not trying to spoil it though. We'll get to that when we're playing the expansion. But Heart of Stone, excellent, excellent, absolutely love it. If for some reason you somehow found my videos and you haven't played it, press that little X button in the top right corner of your screen. Shut the internet off, okay? Or no, don't shut it off. I'm just saying, close Internet Explorer or Chrome or whatever internet browser you're using, and buy the expansion and play that instead, because you won't regret it. And here we are outside of this little Scoia'tael camp. I really wish that the Scoia'tael had more of a presence and more of a, you know, more of a role in the story.
I'll never forget you. I must thank you once more.
You know me? Where from?
We met long ago in Brokilon.
Possible, but can't say I remember.
No surprise, you were badly wounded then. If not for the Dryad's care, it's unlikely you would have survived.
Long time ago. So long it feels like it happened in another life. Maybe that's not so far from the truth. Be glad to glance at what you're selling.
Yeah, no, it really does suck that the Scoia'tael don't have a bit more of a presence and you know, a role to play in any of the stories, really.
We can gather it here.
There's not a single elven, like a prominent elven character throughout the game. That kind of rubs me the wrong way, to be honest. I really wish that there would be some cool elf to talk to and to hang out with, but
A good one to you, young man. Hair's all a grey, but by your face and straight back, I know you to be in your youth.
Greetings. What do you sell?
Herbs, young lad. I've all sorts gathered near about. You'd be surprised what useful plants grow by the roadside.
Not that surprised, actually.
Monk's hood, for instance. Lovely blossom. Soothes aches and pains, but just a handful and you could poison a whole family. A very useful plant.
Yeah. What else would you recommend?
Have a look, young man. You seem learned in these matters, so I'll show you my special stock from under the counter.
You just might have the herbs I need.
special stock, huh? I wonder if he's talking about that good shit. That good shit. No, I'm serious though. Seriously though. He's got a lot of herbs and just, you know, crafting material in general. So if you need something for a formula or a, I guess a crafting diagram, you know, he's your man. I would definitely recommend you go to visit that guy. He's just, if you go to the Rosemary and Thyme, you exit Rosemary and Thyme, you just follow that, I guess, road. if you can call it that, road right ahead. And by the right side, you should see his little shop, his store.
With you. Not for all the gold in Novigrad.
My oh my, lady.
Greetings.
Oh, here it is. The apocalypse. A witch has walked into my brothel.
What's strange about that?
What's strange is you. Everyone knows witches are freaks, mutants, unnatural. And this here's a decent brothel for whores with principles. Well, spit it out. Got all the same bits in your trousers like a normal lad.
Last I checked, everything was where it should be.
This lady is nice, huh?
Got anything to sell?
Damn. She's, And yeah, here we are exploring the, I guess the headquarters of the Church of the Eternal Fire. This is the great tower that we can see from all over Novigrad. And here's this little, like, square where people can come and pray to the fire, and it looks actually really beautiful. It's you can kind of see the walls and the pillars kind of adorned with this fire motif. Looks really great. CD Projekt Red really did a fantastic job with the mise-en-scène of the game. The way the environment can really tell a story is yeah, no, it's beyond commendable. And it's just it keeps getting better and better. You kind of see them progressing as the games go by. It's insane. By the time Blood and Wine comes rolling out, they've pretty much almost perfected it. Or by the time, you know, by the end of Blood and Wine, you can kind of see kind of this beautiful arc of how they've improved. And although, speaking of, you know, attention to detail and all that, it is kind of funny that there is not a single door leading into the tower itself. That's kind of that kind of rubs me the wrong way. I would have been able, I would have liked to kind of, you know, not maybe to go outside. I don't think we need to go inside the temple, but it would have been nice to at least have a door. But yeah, overall I think they did a great job, and there's even a place of power here, so they definitely recommend, or they definitely encourage you to kind of go explore the world, and they reward you with it, and that's a pretty good reward. I approve of the Heart of Stones. That
magic.
The place of powers.
The place of power.
God damn it. And yeah, now we're just gonna. Now this is just a kind of a miscellaneous little thing. I just wanted to show kind of these kind of little secret jumps that you can take, or make rather, to kind of you know, explore the city in a way that the developers maybe didn't intend it. I'm not sure. We see these shoes here. I guess it kind of implies that maybe somebody commits suicide here. Not sure. There's no bodies, so you know. But yeah, I'm making these little jumps here. These check out this finesse. Look at this. Wow. Okay, so I did die, but but we're gonna reload the area, because you can make some pretty nifty little trick jumps here, and oh, I landed on this little ledge here, and boom, I'm inside. Now you may be wondering, what the hell is the purpose of this? Fun. It's just fun to do. That's all. There's really no purpose. There's nothing to loot here. There's nothing to find. No treasure. No place of power. But I don't know. It's just interesting, because they purposely put these scaffolds here, so it's almost as if, I don't know, maybe it is part of a quest later down the line. I never found that particular quest myself. I do know that there is a part where when you're playing as Ciri, you know, spoiler, spoiler, wink, wink, hint, hint, there is a part where you will be parkouring over these rooftops, like I'm doing right now. But we're never really, we're not really parkouring on this side of the street. We're doing it on the other side, which I will be going to shortly. But I don't know. But yeah, I just figured I'd show you this because I found this in my first playthrough, and it's always fun to kind of come here and make these kind of nifty little jumps. But this is unfortunately the end. Luckily for me, I hit that kind of storage kind of crane, because otherwise I probably would have died. That was an insanely high jump. So yeah, lucky me. And now we are gonna fix these statues. Or fix them, rather. We're just
Destroyed this one too.
Putting them back in their place. Not doing really all that much. But yeah, this is a quest that we got like 10 episodes ago, or more even maybe. Involving us having to... We were kind of, you know, an old lady kind of... Or a lady, I'm not sure of her age, but she kind of asked us to put all of these statues back in their place. Because these guys have been knocking them over.
You the ones destroying shrines all over Velen?
What's that got to do with you?
What's it got to do with you?
We are the heralds of lightning. Heavy drops from leaden clouds. Unleashed, the lightning's name shall be Overman.
Stop this. End it.
We shall not heed a stooge who goes about on the clergy's leash. Religion is the opiate of the masses. The gods are dead. Thus speaks Master Friedrich of Oxenfurt. Common folk fear religion and the priests, not the gods. And this fear enslaves us in fetters of ignorance. We must forge a new morality, or rid ourselves of morality altogether.
Amusing as this little show is, I'm getting bored. Leave, and don't come back.
Or what?
Or I'll tell on you to the headmistress.
Repression! Attack the system's lackey!
Yeah.
Bad idea.
So these guys, we find out that these are the guys who've been knocking over these statues. These seem to be university students, and they're quoting... They're basically quoting, like straight up, just quoting quotes by Friedrich Nietzsche? That is his first name, right? They even use that first name here, which is pretty funny. And Karl Marx. And you know what? I don't disagree with these guys, nor do I disagree with what they're doing. Fuck. I totally get why they're doing what they're doing, and...
That's enough of that.
But unfortunately, if you don't stop them, you do fail the quest, which is a shame. It would have been nice to be able to side with them. And we're dead. I'm not even gonna apologize. I hate the fistfights in this game, but hey. Don't worry though. I do reload to a point where... Or not reload to a point, but rather I reloaded and edited out the failures. I actually kicked their asses on my second attempt here, but it's an alright quest, but don't approve much of the I don't know, I wish there was a bit an option to kind of side with them, because yeah, like I said, they're not exactly wrong, but I guess, you know,
Still sniffing round here, are you?
Others call them the crones, but you call them the ladies of the wood.
Those who name them crones, them's artless fools. The ladies of the wood have watched over this land for ages.
In what way?
They drive out evil powers. They say 100 springs ago, they saved Velen from a plague of werewolves ravaging our flocks.
Met your ladies, and I think crones is more fitting as a name for those monstrosities.
Why'd you say that?
Just the look of them. Hideous monsters clad in human robes and skin.
Fistek must addle your city folks' brains. I ain't seen all the ladies, true, but the Whispers, she's shown herself a true beauty, that.
Here we get a bit of a kind of follow-up and lore regarding the ladies of the wood.
Farewell.
It's kind of funny. Geralt describes them as being hideous and basically monsters wearing human skin. But that guy mentions that he has seen one of them, the Whispers, I think he said, and she was beautiful. And he's not wrong. You're not wrong either. They have two forms. One kind of human form, or at least human-like, and one monstery.
Time to end this.
Monstery formy. One monster form. I guess their true form, in a way. So yeah, that's a nice little detail, kind of foreshadowing what you will be seeing later on. But yeah, that's the end of this video basically. Thank you for watching, if you've actually bothered to watch this. This has been kind of you know, us kind of wrapping up some things. Nah, not really. It's been mostly us just exploring the outskirts of Novigrad and finishing up some things, I guess. But yeah, thanks for watching everybody. I'll see you in the next one.